It was 2021 when Stoke went to Swansea and won 3-1. Back then they had cohesion, they had a plan, they had an identity, they looked like a team. This Stoke side is very, very different. Welcome to Where Potters Walk. We're discussing what on earth is going on with Stoke City this week and just how can they beat Swansea. Welcome to 20 minutes of very depressed fans talking about Stoke City. Welcome. We've got Liam, we've got Alfie, and for the first time we've our guest reviewers Dan, and we've also got Carl. Welcome to you both. We'll try and keep this straightforward and simple. We're asking you three very simple questions. What's going on with Stoke? Why are they so boring to watch all of a sudden? And how do you beat Swansea? We're going to review the Middlesbrough game in a second, but first we've got some Swansea fans on to also talk about the game this weekend. Liam, let's kick off. Why are Stoke so boring to watch at the moment?
Well, all I can put down to is me and you discussed last week about when we played Middlesbrough, how slow they were with the ball. And watching us recently, we're playing walking football. I think I've just seen a stat where we've played over 400 passes and 300 of them are in their own half. I can't watch that. I know this new manager's got to show us what he's going to do, but if that's the way he's going down, it's going to be a terrible season for me watching personally.
You may have seen the video, some of you, of a guy cutting up his season ticket, saying he's never going. He's never going again. I don't think he cut through the important part, though. I think it's still usable, isn't it? Someone said. All right, Alfie. Okay, it's 2 games. Have we been too reactionary here, or has it been that bad?
It has been bad. I think the problem is the style of football he's trying to play is way too advanced for the bunch of players that we've got. I mean, watching Ben Wilmot and Chimedu trying to play out from the back is it's difficult. It's difficult. I just don't think that. I think I like what he's trying to do, but he's doing it too soon. I think he's got to do it progressively.
Dan, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I don't like this style of playing out from the back. I mean, I know a lot of teams do it nowadays, but it catches a lot of teams out. And Middlesbrough were literally just pressing high up the pitch and trying to force us into errors, and it was really bad, and I don't like it.
Carl, can you offer any positivity to this debate?
Oh, no. I do think we have got some players in that squad, but it's the defence that lets it down, and that's where he's trying to start off building. If you try and build and play out from the back, that's where the problems are going to come. Midfield, we look decent, we've got some good players in midfield, but in terms of defence, if this is a style he's going to try playing out from the back, we are going to get ourselves in big trouble. I think Alfie said it, watching Ben Wilmot play out from the back, it's going to cause chaos, absolute chaos.
I think the fans are coming to a point now where it looks like, certainly on social media, they've just had enough. This has been 11 years of stagnation, and as a point to that, let's have a look at that side that I put up earlier, the side that went to Swansea and won 3-1. Here it is.
How days have gone.
Have a look at that side. So this is in 2022. So it's only 2 years ago. Liam, would you look at that side now? Would it wipe the floor with the current Stoke side?
It depends what game you got them on. Same as this side now. Either team could beat the other team 3 or 4-0. Both could lose 3 or 4-0 because that's been the problem with Stoke for so many years. You don't know who's going to turn up.
Alfie, are there any players you look at there and go, I wish we'd had them now?
Hoover and Brown for me. Maybe Laurent, because I think at the moment he gets in over Berger and Thompson. But yeah, Hoover and Brown, definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, in advance of trying to cheer you all up, we've invited a couple of Swansea fans on to try and tell you how you can beat them. So let's talk to Jimmy Jimmy and James, who are from our Swansea podcast. Welcome, both of you. Thank you for coming on. James, first of all, where are Swansea's vulnerabilities?
Just wait till the second half, I would say, at the moment. We seem to be a side that in the first half, if we don't put 3 or 4 past you, you'll get your chances in the second half. We are so sharp on the ball and we're quick to press in the first half. My advice would just be wait till Franco goes off and then just throw the kitchen sink at us, because that literally is what is happening at the moment. He pretty much dictates the way we play. Take him off, and then in the second half, just go at us.
Jimmy, another set piece, I think from Bristol City was this afternoon that undid you. Okay, you're the Stoke coach. Tell us now, how do they set up? What do they do to beat you on Saturday?
I think James, you got it mostly spot on. Really, we've been absolutely useless in the second half, basically for the last 3 games. Even though we've won 2 of them, I just think it's not good enough. You can't maintain, if you can't maintain a level for 90 minutes, then you're not going to get anywhere, because we're so good in the first half and the second half are absolutely terrible. I think the best way to set up against us really is try and almost back off us for the first 45, let us play our way. You might concede, but if you come at us again, as you said, Franco comes off, the midfield goes all wrong. I think let us have our fun with the ball 45 minutes. I'd probably engage your press more in the second half, and where we seem to be poorer in most games, and then hopefully for them they might get the result, but I hope not.
Do you two see similarities between yourselves and Stoke City? Both clubs went up to the Premier League similar times, both came down similar times. You've had your battles, both sleeping giants that could be Premier League one day if you just got a decent manager with consistent players.
I think with Stoke, it's just sticking to a plan, because I think at the moment, they were renowned for being physical and hard to beat for years. I actually don't know what their style is anymore. Like I said, they've gone through so many different managers. I think just picking a side and sticking with it. Unlike us, their owner has backed managers quite heavily. So I think with them, it's just sticking to a cohesive plan.
Okay. Liam, do you go with that?
Yeah, I mean, seeing that we used to be known as a physical team, we're absolutely powered up now. The midfield can get run through with ease. The owners have backed managers, but the decision making's horrendous. We're once again in a position now where we've got a set of players that don't suit a style a manager wants. He hasn't had a pre-season. It's just chaos as per usual with Stoke. I mean, Swansea, you could say, is similar in boat to us, but they've had a couple of playoff runs in the time we've come down. We've had absolutely nothing. Even the cup draw we just had, Southampton away, get us out. I'm sick of it. Sick of a lot of them.
Okay. Oh dear, this is going to be a fun season. Right, let's get some predictions. Alfie, score prediction: Swansea Stoke.
2-0 Swansea, unfortunately.
God. Jimmy.
I'm going to say 2-2. I think we're a bit too open in the second half, and as much as they do struggle to score, as I said, we've conceded to some poor teams this season. So I think 2-2, 1-1, something. I think it'll be a draw either way. I just don't think, unless we maintain our level for 90 minutes, I don't see us winning the game for a while.
You just saw Dan, Carl, and Liam all instantly shake their heads at the instant there of 2-2. Stoke coins 2 away. All right, fellas, thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you on the Swansea View. Good luck for the game this weekend. For the rest of you, let's rate some takes on the Middlesbrough game, shall we? They weren't very positive. Here we go. Stoke sacking Shuey for Palak is Birmingham sacking Eustace for Rooney. We will be in League One next year. It has elements of that feeling about it already, doesn't it? The Birmingham fans weren't happy, they were revolting, and I've already seen signs, I think in the away end, saying coats out. I can't remember there being this much negativity around Stoke for a long time. Carl, does it feel like that for you?
It does massively, yeah. I mean, his record wasn't fantastic, Shuey's, but he seemed to just have something building. There was a lot of positivity at the start of the season, and it just comes as a shock, his sacking. But I don't think people can write off Palace. Yeah, like I said, and a few others have said, I think the problems lie further above. I think you could put Guardiola in the position that any Stoke manager's in at the minute, and we just cursed. We just completely cursed. So it is very negative. It is super negative at the minute.
Let's look at some of the stats, Dan. Then I think Liam alluded to some of these earlier on. 440 successful passes. Amazing. That's really good to hear. 360 of them were in your own half. 80%, 80 touches in the opponent's half. That is a damning statistic, isn't it? 10 touches in the opposition's box. Tom Cannon had 7 touches. Stoke created 66 and Borough created 9. And what came out of it was that the interview after the game, I don't know if you listened to it or heard it, was you saying that you were organised. How can a team be organised if they are allowing the opposition 19 shots on goal and having only 80% of the passes in their own half? And that's what Lennon says there. I don't know what's more worrying, the game or the interview. So already there's people thinking this guy is talking nonsense, isn't he, Liam? Oh, sorry, Dan, I meant to come to you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of managers have made excuses. Well, sound like they make excuses, but I think the game was more worrying because we just knocked it around at the back willy-nilly. I mean, it was boring. And like I said before, Middlesbrough were just pressing high up the pitch, forcing us into errors. And we just weren't getting forward at a good time. It was really boring. I know I've said that word quite a lot, but yeah, there were no runs as well. I didn't see any runs. I mean, Manu, I like him. He cuts in well. He's got a wonderful left foot, but when we're not giving the ball to him, try and get the ball to him. And Bae Jun-ho as well. Another good player, but he hasn't got going yet. And it's very worrying signs. Very worrying.
Yeah, we must take nothing away from Middlesbrough, who are, of course, predicted to be that. However, that was the same side that you went up and beat only in the cup a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Alfie, there's been some fan suggestions of the team that should be put out next week, or this week even. Would you go along with that?
No. Wilmot on the right, no chance. Absolutely no chance. I'd probably play Seko there if he's fit. I know he hasn't had long with the squad, but I'd honestly play Seko over Wilmot and Chamadu at right back. I'd put Rose alongside Gibson. And then I'd play Berger again because there's no one else that I think could get over him, to be honest. There's no one else that we can bring in. I quite like the front three, though, to be fair. But, yeah, Wilmot right back. There's many things I'd rather see than that, honestly.
All right, Liam, that was your team you put out on Twitter. Defend it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to see Wilmot right back in an ideal world, but Shamadu's got to come out of there. At the minute, he is taking a lot of the hit, which I said before was not really his fault. You know, he's a young lad learning the game. I'd happily see Seko there, but I've not really seen anything of him. I don't even know if he can play right back. I know he's rumoured that he can, but they've got to try something different. I think in terms of Gibson and Rose playing centre-back, I think Phillips will be our starting centre-back. Once he's fit, he'll play over both of them. He's got pace, he's strong, he's good with the ball. And then it's just trying to find something that'll click, really. I mean, if you play Vidigal, Manhoof, Juno, Kumas, any of them on the wing, they're the only outlets we've got. We haven't got really anything up top that's any good that we've seen so far. And Palak so far has found a way to not get the ball to them. In both games, really, he played Manhoof in the centre, which is fine, but against Hull, and he seemed to get a little bit out of it, but he's got to find a way of getting the ball to the most dangerous people. I don't want to see Gibson, Wilmot and Thompson playing the ball around. I want to see Manhoof, Juno and Moran playing the ball around. That's the difference for me. Gary Neville summed it up earlier. modern football today is people taking risks in their own box and on the opposition, and that was what we did against Borough all game.
Carl, anything to add to that debate?
No, I agree. Really, I'm pretty much stuck in a certain way. Still, I am. I think defenders, the saying always goes, "If in doubt, hit it out." All this tippy tapping in the box, as we saw against Hull, it just killed us with Wilmot. And like the lads have said, you need to be able to feed the wingers. I like Manuf on the wing because he cuts inside well. I like Jono on the other side. But again, you need to be able to get the ball out to them. We've got nobody at the minute that can distribute the ball to them at all.
Okay. You can listen to this on Spotify and drive to work and depress yourself even more if you want
Go into
to.
a poll.
And of course, we'd love you to subscribe if you haven't yet done so. We've got lots of Stoke voices this year to review it all. I just worry. We spoke to our Portsmouth fans earlier, who are well up for their game this week. We know we're recording it. Liam, you've called Stoke Charity FC many times, and here come along Portsmouth, who haven't won yet, haven't tasted to win, and they're coming to Stoke City on Wednesday. I fear for what happens if the ball goes in the net.
It'll be horrible down there.
It'll be
horrible down there. But
Yeah.
whatever happens down there, what people have got to realise is whatever the fans turn on, it's not going to be a latch. It's the situation. Stoke fans will give him time, play his football, but the whole situation itself now is getting out of the control where that's what's making fans turn, in my opinion.
All right, well, we wish you luck against Portsmouth, and of course we wish you luck on your trip to Swansea next week. We will see you all back here next week where we'll look at defensive midfielders. I just need to ask you quickly for your September Player of the Month before we go. As crazy as that sounds. Alfie, can you dig one out from somewhere?
Johansson, probably.
Okay, all right. Dan?
Yeah, I agree with Alfie. Johansson, he's made some good saves this month, but other than that, it's been boring.
Yep, I think you've definitely summed that up. Liam?
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else who stands out, to be fair. Maybe Manu for a push, but it's not been great, has it?
Carl, can you add anything to this conversation?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Dave on row 23 because he's stuck with the side. No, I'd say probably.
All right. Okay, great shout. Things looking up. We can't be sat here next week with a loss to Portsmouth and a loss to Swansea. It can't be. Not heading to League One. This is going to turn around. I'm absolutely sure it is. Right.
In the words of Mick McCarthy, we can be sat here with 2 defeats. Don't worry about that.
All right.
That place is going to turn toxic if we lose. Just like with Sheffield Wednesday last year.
It'll be horrible. It will be horrible.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're there and I'm not. I'll watch it on telly. See you next week, fellas. Thank you so much for watching.